Hi students, now we will see some of the questions which were asked in the NEET entrance or other state entrance questions or JEE entrance questions on the lesson some basic principles of chemistry. So when you are preparing for entrance, the theory part you should be very clear and we should know how to apply this. So we will see some of the questions. After doing few questions you will get an idea how you can approach the entrance oriented questions. For example, this question asked in the NEET entrance, the number of moles of hydrogen molecules required to produce 20 moles of ammonia through Haber process. So this is very simple question. So Haber process we are learning from lower class onwards. So N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. This is the chemistry part in this question. The remaining part is simple logic only, mathematics. So 1 mole of nitrogen combines with 3 moles of hydrogen to form 2 moles of ammonia. So for 3 moles of hydrogen is required for producing 2 moles of ammonia. So for preparing 1 mole of ammonia, we need 3/2 moles of hydrogen. For 1 mole of ammonia, how can we make it 1? 2/2. So here also by 2. So 1 mole of ammonia, we need 3/2 moles of hydrogen. In the question, they asked 20 moles of ammonia. So 20 moles of ammonia need 3/2 into 20 moles of hydrogen. So 10 into 3, 30 moles. That's answer. The first part only, the chemistry remaining and all, it's simple logic only. The density of 2 molar aqueous solution of NaOH is 1.28 gram per centimeter cube. The molality of the solution is given that molecular mass of NaOH is 40. Molality is equal to number of moles of solute by mass of solvent in kilogram. Molality is equal to number of moles by mass of solvent in kilogram. So here they are given 2 molar solution. 1 molar NaOH means 40 gram NaOH in 1 liter. 2 molar means 80 gram in 1 liter. So volume of solution is 1 liter. Mass of solution is equal to density into volume. So density is given 1.28. Volume is 1000 ml. So 1280. Mass of solute. So in 1 molar solution, 40 gram of NaOH. In 2 molar, it is 80. So 2 into 40 is 80 gram. So mass of solvent will be 1280. This is solution minus the 80 gram of the solute. That means 1200 gram will be solvent. So in that 1280, 80 gram is solute. We want mass of solvent. So 1280 minus 80, that's 1200. Number of moles of solute is mass by molecular mass. Mass of solute we got 80 and molecular mass of solute is 40 is given in the question. So 80 by 40 is equal to 2 moles. Molality is number of moles we got here by volume of solvent, mass of solvent in kilogram. Mass of solvent is 1200 divided by 1000. So 1000 will go in the numerator. So 2 into 1000 by 1200 is equal to 1.67. So in this question, when you approach, we should know what is molality. Molality is equal to number of moles of solute by mass of solvent in kilogram. Mass of solvent in kilogram. So mass of solvent we want to find out. Mass of solution we got. Mass of solution is density into volume. And we know that in 1 molar solution 40 gram and 2 mole of solution 80 gram. So the solute we subtracted, we got mass of solvent. And so this part we got. Number of moles is mass by molecular mass. Mass is 80 gram and molecular mass of NaOH is 40. So we got both and divided we got 1.67. A mixture of 2.3 gram of formic acid and 4.5 gram oxalic acid is treated with the concentrated sulfuric acid. The evolved gaseous mixture is passed through potassium hydroxide pellets. Weigh to the remaining products at STP. We want to find out the remaining products. What will be remaining there after the reaction? Formic acid we know HCOH. And concentrated sulfuric acid is a dehydrating agent. So drying agent and dehydrating agent. Sulfuric acid can act as drying agent as well as dehydrating agent. Dehydrating agent means in this no need of water present as such, but it will take hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 2:1. If it is present like that, that can be taken from the compound. You might have studied this, or you will study in P block elements, action concentrated sulfuric acid with the sugar. So you can remove the water molecules from it. No need of water molecule, it is present as water molecule as such. So here 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen will remove, that's as water. 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, if it goes, remaining will be CO. And it is given that 2.3 gram and molecular mass of formic acid is 46. Hydrogen 1, carbon 12, oxygen 16, 2 oxygens are there, 32 plus other 1, you get 46. So mass by molecular mass, you get 1 by 20. So initially no water and no carbon monoxide is present. But we know 1 mole of formic acid will give 1 mole of water and 1 mole of carbon dioxide. So from 1 by 20, if you use 1 by 20 moles of water and 1 by 20 moles of carbon monoxide will be formed. And that water will be absorbed by concentrated sulfuric acid. This will absorb, it will take. So remaining only carbon monoxide. Similarly, oxalic acid is H2C2O4. H2C2O4, it is COH. From this, we can remove 1 molecule of water, 1 molecule of carbon dioxide and 1 mole of CO. So here also number of moles, mass by molecular mass, 1 by 20. Initially no carbon monoxide, no carbon dioxide, water. Finally from 1 by 20, 1 by 20 moles of carbon monoxide, 1 by 20 moles of carbon dioxide and 1 by 20 moles of water will be formed. And sulfuric acid will remove this water and KOH pellets. So because we are passing it through potassium hydroxide pellets, so potassium hydroxide pellets will absorb carbon dioxide also. So remaining only carbon monoxide, that is 1 by 20. Here also carbon monoxide 1 by 20, here also carbon monoxide 1 by 20. So totally we will have 1 by 20 plus 1 by 20, that is equal to 1 by 10 moles of carbon monoxide. So mole mass of carbon monoxide is equal to number of moles into its molecular mass, that is 28. 1 by 10 into 28 you will get 2.8. So the main concept here is sulfuric acid can remove water from a compound even though if water is present as such. If it is not there also, it can remove hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 2:1. So from formic acid, the product will be water and carbon monoxide, and that water will be absorbed by concentrated sulfuric acid. From oxalic acid, the products are carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and water. Water will be absorbed by concentrated sulfuric acid, and since it is passing through potassium hydroxide, carbon dioxide also will be absorbed by potassium hydroxide. So remaining will be carbon monoxide. The first case 1 by 20, second case also 1 by 20, totally 1 by 10, and mass will be number of moles into its molecular mass. In which case is the number of molecules of water is maximum. They are given 4 options: 18 ml of water, 0.18 gram of water, 0.00224 liter of water, water vapors at 1 atmosphere and 273 Kelvin, and 10 to the power 3 moles of water. So first case, if you take mass of water is equal to volume into density. So since density of water is 1, 18 into 1, 18 gram. So from that we can calculate the number of moles. From that number of moles we can calculate the number of particles or atoms or molecules. So mass by molecular mass, we get 1 into Avogadro number Na, that means Na. So in the case of 18 ml of water, Avogadro number of particles will be there. That much molecules will be there. So here we listen in which case number of molecules of water is more. So in this case, the Avogadro number of molecules of water 6.023 into the power 23 molecules will be there. The second case, it is directly given 0.18. So here it is 18 gram, and second case it is 0.18. Obviously it will be very less because it is 0.18 into Na. So it will be less than this. So when we compare A and B, A will have more number of molecules. The third option is 0.00224 liter. So in that case, number of moles is equal to 0.224 by 22.4. So according to Avogadro's law, so 1 mole of any gas will occupy 22.4 liters. So here number of moles of water is equal to 0.00224 by 22.4, that is equal to 10 to the power minus 4 moles. Still it is less, 10 to the power minus 4 into Avogadro number, very less value. Another one 10 to the power minus 3 mole of water. So that also will be very less when compared to the option A. So option A is the correct answer. Next question. Suppose the elements X and Y combine to form compounds XY2 and X3Y2. When 0.1 mole of XY2 weighs 10 gram. So 0.1 mole of XY2 its weight is 10 gram, and 0.05 mole of X3Y2 weighs 9 gram. The atomic weights of X and Y we have to calculate. Let the atomic weight of capital X be small x and atomic weight of capital Y be small y. We know that number of moles is equal to mass divided by molecular mass. So molecular mass of XY2, how will you calculate? Mass of X plus mass of Y into 2. That means number of moles is equal to W by X plus 2Y. W is given 10 gram and number of moles also given 0.1 is equal to mass is given 10 gram, 10 by X plus 2Y. So that means X plus 2Y is equal to 10 by 0.1, that is equal to 100. So we got X plus 2Y is equal to 100, and for the next X3Y2 is 9 gram and the number of moles is 0.05. So 0.05 is equal to mass by molecular mass X3Y2. It means 3 into X plus 2 into Y. So 3X plus 2Y is equal to 180. 3X plus 2Y is equal to 180. We can solve these two equations. So if you subtract this equation 1 from equation 2, 3x minus x is 2x, 2y minus 2y is 0, 180 minus 100 is equal to 80, 180 minus 100 is 80, so x is equal to 80 by 2, 40. If x is 40, we can substitute in one equation and find y. 40 plus 2y is equal to 100. So 2y is equal to 100 minus 40, 60. So y is equal to 60 by 2, 30. So the molecular weight, atomic weight of X we got as 40, and atomic weight of Y we got as 30. So 40 and 30 are the answers.